And we're back with some more Hamilton Tigers franchise mode in FHM 11. And in the last one, we went through the year 5 regular season. Did not have a good time at 29, 45, and 8. 66 points. That is still not what I expected out of this team. I expected some sort of improvement, but that did not happen. So we're going into this offseason with a few things that we definitely are going to need. First off, I want to trade Montebo. I actually already have him offered out on a trade on the shopping screen here. The most we can get from him is 6th, but you know what? That's all right because he is making $6 million on his contract. I just want to free that up because he has not done too well over the past couple of seasons. 903 save percentage in his first year with us and an 899 last year. Just not up to par. Okay, Houston has a lot of cap to go around and they are offering for him, so we will take Houston's offer. There you go. And now what we're going to do, we are going to go out into free agency and sign Spencer Knight. He is 28 years of age, 3-star ability, got some decent ratings in there. Mental ratings are great. I spent last year in the AHL with Toronto at a 921 save percentage. The year before that, he was in the NHL and had a 912. So he's got a pretty good track record in the simulation so far. I figured it couldn't hurt to give him a shot. And the best part is that he only wants 2.6 for the next 3 years since he was in the AHL last season. I will give him 2.8 for 3 years, and I can't imagine he would reject that. And next we'll be signing the center, Adrian Kempe, who frankly I think might be more useful on wing. Obviously, I know Kempe's 32. He's in the latter half of his career. But what I like about Kempe is that, number one, he's a good hitter. And he also is very quick, 18 speed. So I really like that about him. I want to get faster with this team. I think that's going to be a big plus. And not to mention he had 57 points last year for LA. He wants 5.9 for 2 years. I will definitely do that. I'll take him up to 6.25 for 2 years. And then of course, we're also going to have to go after Thomas Harley. I mean, we were looking at him in the last one, 27 years of age. Very good all around really, but he's got some fantastic physical ratings in there, good mental ratings, and like I said, just good all around. He appears to be a very good simulator so far throughout the simulation, grade no lower than 72. He had 33 points last year with Dallas. He also appears to be a hitter, roughly 90 to 100 hits per season. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to hope that I can get him for 5 years. I'm anticipating that he might counter for 6. So I'll take him to 7.75 for 5 years. We'll see what he says about that. Yeah, okay, he counted for 6. That's what I expected. So I will do 6. I just didn't want 7. Then I will bring his price to 7.4 just to ensure that he signs. And there you go. So Thomas Harley has been approached along with Spencer Knight and Adrian Kempe. And then one more move we're going to be making is going to involve Arthur Kaliev. He is 28 years of age. He is a 3.5-star ability. Career high with us so far at 49 points. I mean, he's a decent scorer. I wouldn't mind keeping him around under different circumstances, but there is a pretty good offer that I have lined up for him, which not only frees up space for guys like Eklund to move up in the lineup, which I really want Eklund to get some top 6 time next year. And I think having Kaliev on the roster is going to prevent that. So that is why I'm moving on from Kaliev, but it also is going to allow us to get a draft pick here. So we're going to be moving Arthur Kaliev to Calgary. They're looking for wingers, and who we will be receiving in return is the veteran defenseman. There he is, Rasmus Andersson. He is 32 years old, 2.5-star ability, very good defensive category for the most part. Wish hitting was a bit higher, but that's all right. Passing is 18, so he's got good puck control, good balance, good mental ratings overall. Stats from last year, he has 61 grade, 37 points. He's a hitter as well. He had 100 hits. So obviously another veteran in there, but the main attraction of this trade is going to be the first-round pick that we will be receiving for this year's draft. So Arthur Kaliev for Rasmus Andersson and a first-round pick offer trade. And with that all being done, we'll see what happens leading up to the draft. Ooh, Kempe's got a better offer. He's up to 7.5 now. Jeez. I don't want to go too high. 7.7. And ooh, really? Calgary rejected that? Oh, the salary. That wasn't an issue before. Okay. It appears 5% retention will work. So Arthur Kaliev at 5% of his salary retained in exchange for Rasmus Andersson and a first round pick offer trade. Now, hopefully that'll go through before the draft, as obviously the draft pick's involved there. All right, time for the draft lottery. We are currently in the 4th position. So let's see what happens. At number 20, you have Florida, followed up by LA, San Jose, Winnipeg, Vancouver, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Detroit, Utah, Vegas, Chicago, Portland, Carolina, Washington, Boston, and your Hamilton Tigers at number 4, followed up by Cleveland and the New York Islanders at number 1, followed by Houston at number 2. Ooh, Kempe's got another offer. Let's see, what's he up to now? Jeez, almost 10 mil for 1 year. That's a bit much. That is a bit much for Kempe. And that trade still hasn't gone through. I might have to resubmit that trade to Calgary. All right, yeah, I think we're going to have to resubmit this offer. Arthur Kaliev for Rasmus Anderson and a first-round pick in this year's draft. All right. That is a deal accepted by the Calgary Flames. Finalized trade. So that's out of the way, and we now have 2 first-round picks. However, we need to make a decision on Kempe as to what we're going to do, because that is quite a lot that he's asking for. That's way too much for Kempe. I think we're out on Kempe now. He's officially outpriced. Ooh, look at that. Timothy Kazda. You have a 2-star ability right out of the gate in the draft, a 4-star potential. The mock draft has him going at 25, really? I would have thought he was going first, because he is overall the best skater available, at least in my opinion. And it seems the best defenseman available is Van Burke, who is a 1-star ability, 3.5-star potential. Unfortunately, this draft is very forward heavy, which is not exactly what we need. And honestly, I think that's been the case for the majority of the drafts so far in this GM mode, considering that our only solid defensive prospect is Lundborg. I mean, I doubt we're going to be able to trade up for the Islanders pick, but you know what? We have the 4th overall pick, so there's at least a decent chance that Kazda could fall to us, given that he's ranked at 25, but you know, you never know with this game, right? So I guess we'll just simulate and see what happens here. Who is going to go to the New York Islanders with the 1st overall pick? That will be Tyson Orr of the Niagara Ice Dogs. 1.5-star ability, 4-star potential. Certainly not a bad pick. 97 points last year in 67 games played, 70 grade. So let's hope that Houston does not take him with the 2nd overall pick. Okay, they take Max Melicheric. I had my eye on him as well, but honestly, I do like Kazda more. We only have to go 1 more pick, and he might fall to us. He may very well fall to us. He's looking very good. All right, who is Cleveland going to take with the 3rd overall pick? Timothy. So close. I wanted my guy. Kazda. It was so close. Say, Cleveland, how would you like to make a deal here? How would you like to? Can I give you this? I would like to give you my 4th overall pick and a 2nd offer trade. Oh. Okay. I mean, it works. Should I do it? Yeah, I'm doing it. The 4th overall pick of this year's draft plus St. Louis' 2nd for Timothy Kazda. Finalized trade. There it is. Let's go. Probably one of the most unrealistic trades I've made in a while, but you know what? I don't care. I wanted Kazda, and I got him. So there it is. Timothy Kazda, a member of the Hamilton Tigers. Imagine getting drafted and then literally not even minutes later, they're just like, oh, never mind. We traded you. Anyway. All right. Let's simulate up to Calgary's pick and see who we're taking with number 24. And it seems there's still a 3.5-star potential left in Oliver Tomastik. It doesn't look too bad. 1-star ability, 63 grade, 39 points last year in Slovakia. I personally like Alexander Bobrov here. First of all, last year had a 75 grade in 60 games played in the NAHL. And his ratings overall are pretty well rounded. So I would say he has at least a decent chance of cracking the NHL roster. But do I want the 3.5-star Tomastik over him? 3.5-star winger or 2.5-star defenseman. I mean, my brain is telling me to go with the winger because, you know, 3.5-star potential, but my depth chart is telling me to go with the defenseman. So I think that might be what I do, especially considering we just traded for Kazda. Although Tomastik is ranked at 18, and then the other guy, Bobrov, he's ranked at 128. So there's a possibility, I guess, that we could get him in the 4th round, but knowing this game, he'll probably be gone by then. And so will Tomastik, obviously. So I think it's one or the other here. You know, I like Bobrov's personality much better than Tomastik's. So yeah, I think Bobrov's the winner here. Welcome to the Hamilton Tigers, Alexander Bobrov. There you go. Pick until human. I can't imagine Tomastik is still there. Yep, he has been taken. There is 1.5-star ability, 2.5-star potential in Matthias Vick. Not a bad offensive category for this point in the draft. Physical ratings are also very good. Just make sure his personality is good. Yeah, good personality. 31 points in 50 games played, 68 grade. Yeah, looks good to me. Matthias Vick, welcome to the Hamilton Tigers. Ukela might be a project, but I'm willing to take the chance. But it's not like there's many better players at this point in the draft, so I'm not going to be too picky. So Jan Ukela, welcome to the Hamilton Tigers. Okay, I think I'm going to have the CPU finish the draft here. Nothing's really jumping out to me. And there you go. Thomas Harley and Spencer Knight have been signed on, and Adrian Kempe goes to the Winnipeg Jets. So let's just see what he signed for with Winnipeg. $9 million for 1 year. Yep, I think as of next year, we're officially starting to get into the all-generated players drafts, as Leonardo Amodio who is the top ranked prospect with the 4.5-star potential for next year's draft. His first year was 2026-27, so we're officially, or actually it appears there might be a few real players in here still. There's this guy who started in 2024-25, but it looks like most of the players in the coming drafts are going to be entirely generated. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on, the quality of the drafts that obviously in FHM 10 were not very good for entirely computer generated players. As for Kazda, we're going to leave him unsigned just for this year. All right, we're going to see how he does with his current team, because honestly, there's not much space for him right now anyway, but there should be in the near future. So I believe that'll be just about it for our offseason. I think we did fairly well, all things considered. We didn't get Adrian Kempe, but we did fill quite a few holes. We now have a more respectable defensive core with Harley and Anderson in there. We have what will hopefully be a decent goaltending duo in Knight and Seelovs. And Seelovs obviously did very well last year. 922 save percentage in 41 games played. Hopefully Knight can replicate the save percentage that he had in his last year with Portland with that 912. And then of course we moved out Kaliev to make more room in the top 6 for guys like Eklund, and obviously we acquired Timothy Kazda in the draft. Unfortunately, we are still waiting on guys like Lundborg and McCarney. I think they could both use one more year, where they both currently are. So I'm hoping that all three of these guys, Kazda, Lundborg, and McCarney, will be able to come over next year. And I think with that being done, we can move on to the Hall of Fame inductions. And into the Hockey Hall of Fame this year are Steve Duchesne, Joe Pavelski, Dave Taylor, and Theo Fleury. And here is our prospects tournament roster. In goal, you have Ravensbergen and Tjarlin. Ravensbergen now a 1.5-star ability, 4.5-star potential. So we'll see what he turns out to be. He's taking his time growing, but wait a minute. Did he play at all last year? I don't think he played last year. His last year of play was 2026-27. We're heading into 2029-30 now. Did he play at all for the last 2 years, for that matter? Was he doing anything the past 2 years? Was he just non-existent? Did he just not play at all? Did he just quit altogether and then come back? I have no clue what happened there with Ravensbergen, but it appears he has not played in 2 years. So it should be interesting to see how he simulates for Brampton. Then on defense, you have Lundborg, Kaklier, Hayden, Mertka, Hakansen, and Bobrov. Then at forward, you have Kazda, McCarney, Stenberg, Nemetz, Romano, Bucher, Marsh, Vic, Murniaks, Frollo, Gastrin, and DiDomenicantonio. That name, DiDomenicantonio. There it is. Ooh, Kaklier suffers an injury during the Prospects tournament. He misses 4 months. Speaking of the Prospects tournament, let's go over the games that happened. We had a 5-4 loss to Minnesota with goals by McCarney, Bobrov, Marsh, and Bobrov with his second of the game. Then we have a 6-2 win over Seattle with goals by Nemetz, Frollo, Vic, Kaklier, Romano, and Vic. Then a 5-3 loss to Winnipeg with goals by Romano, Nemetz, and Nemetz. Then you have a 5-2 win over Nashville with goals by McCarney, Vic, DiDomenicantonio, McCarney, and Murniaks. And then you have a 2-1 win over Detroit with goals by Hakansen and Mertka. All right, let's take a look at the training camp development report. It looks like Owen Hayden has grown quite a bit. 1.5-star ability now, 3.5-star potential. I'm pretty sure he was at a 3-star potential when we drafted him, if I'm not mistaken. So he looks to be getting better. Hopefully he'll make our roster at some point soon, because we're definitely going to need some young defensemen to step up here at some point. Yeah, Viggo Bjork getting better in balance, determination, shooting accuracy, and checking. Still at a 3-star ability though. I mean, that offensive category is looking very nice. So hopefully he has a good follow-up season to last year. He had 43 points in 69 games played this year. I'm going to say if he can get 60 or 65 points this year, I'd be happy. Obviously, I'd be even happier if he gets more, but that's, something to shoot for, a goal to shoot for. Milton Gastrin up to a 2-star ability now with plus determination, screening, and checking. Adam Nemetz with plus speed and offensive read. Ryabkin with plus leadership at a 3.5-star ability, 4-star potential. You have Savoie with plus acceleration. Stenberg with plus team players, stamina, professionalism, getting open, and stick checking up to a 2.5-star ability. And those are all the notables. So a bit of good news is that we did very well in the preseason, only lost 2 games. We won against Winnipeg, lost against Dallas, won against LA, won against Columbus, won against Anaheim, lost against Calgary, but then won against Columbus again. And the wins that we had, at least the majority of them, were pretty dominant. A 4-0 win, 5-1 win, 4-1 win, a 4-3 win. That's fair, that's pretty close, but then 5-1 win over Columbus. Obviously, that's just the preseason, but if we can replicate that during the regular season, then that would be very nice, especially after last season. And I think with that, we will just about wrap things up here. Let's go over our roster. Heading into year number 6, we have Spencer Knight and Artur Silovs in goal. On defense, you have Simon Nemetz, Thomas Harley, Niels Lundqvist, Sam Dickinson, Rasmus Anderson, Mario Ferraro, and Dylan Sandberg. And at forward, you have Ivan Ryabkin, Matthew Savoie, Kirill Marchenko, Alex Newhook, Ridley Greig, Vigo Bjork, Victor Eklund, Olivier Nadeau, Anton Frundell, Ivor Stenberg, Ross Colton, Adam Nemetz, Milton Gastrin, and Matthew Soto. So with that being said, I'll leave you guys off here. And the next one, we will start with year number 6 with your Hamilton Tigers.